Oh, Andrea, it's time to go fishing already? Oh, goodness. Let's make it here. Now we get this. Oh, Grandpa's got to get awake here a little bit. We'll get the lantern lit, and then you know what you have to do, don't you? You have to go get those other kids ready, okay? Go get them. Tell them to get up. Come on. Atta girl. Come on, Gus. Come here. Come here, Gus. Come on. You know what? You've got a very important job today. You got to be the official bobber watcher. Yep.
Where are we going fishing, Grandpa?
Well, we're going down the road here a little bit on Mr. McDonald's pond.
Does he know we're going fishing here?
Oh, yeah. I asked him last week. You want to remember, it's real important to ask permission to go on somebody's land. And while we're here, we're guests on his land.
We'll be good guests, Grandpa.
You bet we will. Well, there's the lake right there, kids. Now, be a little bit careful. Be a little bit careful.
What is all this stuff, Grandpa?
Well, it looks like trash that somebody's left.
Grandpa, did other fishermen leave the stuff?
Well, it looks like it. There's a worm cup. There's some old line. I'll tell you, why don't we be good guests and just pick this up for Mr. McDonald, huh? Grandpa always carries a litter bag here, and you always want to carry out your trash. Have something to carry it in. Let's just put it in. You kids remember this. The only thing you want to leave in the woods is your footprints.
Grandpa, why do people leave their garbage?
Well, honey, I just don't think they realize how much damage this can do to the environment. It's a real danger to the birds that use this shoreline. They can get tangled up in it. Gus, would you rather be a litter bug or a dead dog? Look at that. A dead dog? Real dead? Now these are the three basic things we need when we go fishing. We need a weight to hold our bait down there and hold the line down the water. We need a bobber to hold that bait at the level we want it in the water to keep it up off the bottom. And of course you all know what the hook is for.
Grandpa, you just show us how to have a fishing knot.
I sure am. The knot's real important. And you want to remember, it's the weakest place in your line. All right, Andrea, hand me your pole here. Now we're going to rig Andrea's pole up for fishing for bluegill or brim. Now you kids pay attention while I'm tying this knot, and you'll be able to tie your own, okay? I'll put Andrea's on here. You just run the line through the eye of the hook, pull it through, just twist it like 4 times. Run the line back through the little loop above the eye, right there. Grab a hold of it and then just pull it up tight. Be sure you pull on this end so it's snug. You got a nice knot. Okay, next then we put on the weight. A little split shot goes right like that. You just take the needle nose or a pair of little pinchers and just put a little pressure on it. Then next comes the bobber, of course. And it's just you push down here and get that little hook out of there. I generally wrap the line around it once, like that. Let that back shut, and your bobber's on the line.
Grandpa, can I go fishing now?
Well, almost. All we got to do is add the bait. And for these bluegill, we're going to use one of these lively little worms. So we'll just hook a piece of worm on here. Grandpa always likes to leave a little bit, kind of a dangler there, to kind of tease the fish. There you are.
Grandpa, can I go fishing now?
We sure can. Now you guys go over there and get your hooks tied on. I'll get ready to go, and I'll go over here and help Andrea cast hers out. Come on, hon. We'll go over here and get this in the water. Come on. Let's go right down here. That's it. Here, I'll help you cast out this first time. We'll just cast out here. Let's see if we can get. Oh, there. There's a big one in the making right there. Now, Andrea, you keep your eye on that bobber, see? And when a fish nibbles on that bait, that bobber will start dancing around on the water. It might even go under. And when it does, you got to set the hook. That means you got to give a quick jerk on that rod, okay? I'll get you some help. Here, Gus. Come here, Gus. Come on. Here, Gus. Now, you be the official bobber watcher here, okay? You help Andrea watch that bobber, all right? I'll be right back. How'd you do rigging up, Lindsay?
Pretty good, I think.
That looks real good. Well, now all you got to do is cast it out and you're all set. straight out there. Good one. Boy, that's a great spot for bluegill, too.
Why is that, Grandpa?
Well, it's a good area for those bluegill to spawn. They like this beachy, sandy area here.
Spawning is when they lay their eggs, right?
Yep. They use their tails to hollow out a spot on the lake bottom. The male bluegill will use his tail to fan the spawning area and remove some of the sand. Now, he'll also fan those eggs when they're hatching and spends a good deal of time protecting the nest and chasing off any intruders. Well, they should be out there.
Grandpa?
Yeah.
What are we going to be fishing for?
Well, Mr. McDonald said there's some nice bullheads on here. Now, the first thing you boys want to do is get those bobbers off, because bullheads are bottom feeders, and we want that bait right on the bottom. What do you suppose the favorite food of that old whiskery bullhead is?
I know.
What?
Worms.
That's right. So why don't you boys get on some worms now, and I'll help you if you need it.
Well, they might have gone a fishing. They got to thinking it over. I thought the road to the river was a mighty long way, was a mighty long way. Ain't no rhyme or no reason. It's just the season, and I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day, yes it is. Well, they might have gone a fishing. They got to thinking it over. I thought the road to the river was a mighty long way, was a mighty long way. Ain't no rhyme or no reason. It's just the season, and I'm taking it easy. It's my lazy day, yes it is.
Oh, good. Set the hook. Set the hook. Wind him in there. That's it. Start cranking him in. Oh, good. A nice one, too. Crank him in. Keep coming. Come on. Crank him fast. You're going to get in the moss. That's all right. Look at there. Nice fish.
Grandpa, how does he breathe?
Well, he breathes through his gills. See right here? There's his gills. And of course, all these little checkers on here are scales. And then he pushes himself through the water with his fins here. You can see his fins. See how they are? Well, let's take the hook here carefully out of him. There.
Grandpa, won't it get cold in there?
Well, that's the idea, honey. The faster we can get him cooled down, the better he'll taste for supper.
Grandpa, I caught a fish!
This kid's got a big fish on him.
Hey, that's quite a nice largemouth bass.
Cool.
Look at that. You must be quite an angler.
Look, he is.
Yeah.
Grandpa, I thought we were fishing for bullheads.
Well, you don't always catch what you're fishing for. But let's measure this old bucket mouth and see if he's large enough to keep, okay? In this lake, they have to be 15 inches long. And he looks like he's big enough. Yep, sure is. You have to be real careful when you handle fish, okay? Because you can damage them easily. So wet your hands first and keep them out of the water as little as possible.
Why do they call it a bucket mouth? I bet it's because it has such a large mouth.
You're exactly right. Largemouth bass is what we call a predator because it feeds on smaller fish. Its big mouth allows it to have a pretty good sized fish for lunch.
Now that I caught him, what do I do with him?
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's more fun to eat fish or to catch them?
To catch him.
Then how about we let him go so that you or somebody else can have fun catching him again?
Okay.
Before we put it back, let's get a picture for your mother. Okay, turn around here.
You know, Nick, I'm real proud of you for letting that fish go. It's real important that we put predator fish back so that they can eat the smaller ones and they don't overpopulate the pond. Good luck fishing, kids.
Grandpa, who was that nice lady?
Well, she's a conservation officer.
Grandpa, what's a conservation officer?
Conservation officers are kind of like umpires at baseball games. They're the ones that make sure fishermen know and play by the rules.
What kind of rules?
Well, Lindsay, rules like no littering. Rules like how big a fish can be before you keep it. Or how many fish you can keep. All these things are designed to help keep the fish population healthy and be sure there's enough fish so everyone can catch them.
Grandpa, I got a fish!
What do you got there, Tyson? Crank him up. You got yourself a real nice bullhead there, Tyson. Look at that. Nice one. Now, unlike the bluegill, the bullhead has skin instead of scales. And you got to be a little bit careful about these spines and the fins here. And these are his barbels. We call them whiskers, but they're barbels, and that's the way he feels his way around on the bottom and finds his food.
Which one's sting, Grandpa?
Well, these right here. You want to be careful of those, okay? I'll go put him on the ice.
Grandpa, I haven't even gotten a nibble for a long time.
Well, maybe we better reel that in and see if your bait's still on there, huh?
I got one! I got one!
Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. What do you got on there? Uh-oh, looky there.
I sure don't like these weeds. Can we go somewhere where there aren't any weeds?
Well, I'll tell you, we could, but we probably wouldn't catch much. Because these really aren't weeds, they're water plants. And often they're the fish's habitat.
What's habitat?
Well, habitat is a place where fish live, like their home. These plants also provide a place for little fish to hide. It's a place where some fish even lay their eggs. And they put oxygen into the water so that fish can breathe. If that's not enough, they also help break up the waves and protect the shoreline from erosion.
So, if a little fish called prey hides in the plants, then the bigger predators hang around the plants so that they can find the little fish to eat.
That's right. Very, very good. Are you having fun?
Yes, but I'm getting kind of hungry.
Me too. Well, kids, let's head for camp. With any luck at all, Nick and Andrea's mom is back in camp and has our lunch on the table. Down in the meadow in a little bitty pool, there were 3 little fish. The mawfish too. Swim, said the mawfish, swim if you can. They swam and they swam all over the dam. Okay? Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. And they swam all over the dam. Oh, stop, said the mawfish, you get lost. The 3 little fishies didn't want to be lost. There's your mom, kids. Hi, Nancy.
Mom, look at this fish I caught.
Hi, let's see. See the picture.
Nice one, huh?
Oh, it is. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna help me do the dishes?
Nobody but Gus will. Gus, do you want to do dishes or be a dead dog?
Okay, I get the message. I'll do the cleanup.
Andrea, why don't you and Nick help your mom clean up here real quick? And I'm going to take these two older kids and we're going to go out in the boat and try some crappie and catfish. Well, kids, fishing out of this boat's going to be a lot of fun. But there are a few safety rules we're going to have to remember.
Like wearing life jackets?
That's right, Tyson. Here you are. Let's get these on before we go. There you are, Lindsay. Now, kids, here's a couple other things we're going to need. We're going to need a throwable device, which is this right here. In case we come onto somebody down in the water, we can throw that to them. We need a sponge or a bailing bucket in case we spring a little leak. And we need a sounding device or a whistle in case of emergency. I've got that in the tackle box. And I think we're set to go, kids. Let's get in. Lindsay, it's important to keep a good balanced boat here, the weight in balance. So you get in here first. Stay right in the middle of the boat. That's it. Just sit down right there. Tyson, you come on in there then. Stay right in the center of the boat. Keep low in the boat and use your hands on the side to kind of balance yourselves, okay? Good. That's very good. I think we're ready to go.
One more thing. It's not safe to go fishing alone. You shouldn't swim alone, and fishing is the same. Always fish with a friend.
I want you to kids remember now, if this boat should upset, you stay with the boat. Don't try to swim to shore, even with your life jackets on. That shore, when you're down in the water, always looks way closer than it really is. So you stay with the boat. This boat will float if it upsets. Remember that? You can, I know you can.
Grandpa, can I fish for crappie?
You bet you can. You take that cane pole right there and we'll rig it up. Now there's some trees over here under the water and that's perfect crappie habitat and that's right where they're going to be. You get ready. See them right here? Looky there. Looky there. Here you go, Lindsay. I'll show you how to put a minnow on. Hand me the pole. That's right. All right. And get the hook. It's a small hook. Now, Grandpa likes to use a pretty small minnow for crappie. And when you hook that hook, you hook it right under what we call his dorsal fin. That's the one right on his back. So he can move around. See there? Get it out there. That's it. Tyson, what do you want to fish for?
Catfish.
All righty. Well, now this rod's ready to go. You won't need a bobber because those catfish are bottom feeders.
I got one.
Get him in here, lift him in here, pull him up. That's it. Come on, come on. That-a-way, Lindsay. Boy, that's a nice looking crappie. Look at that.
I got one too, Grandpa.
What? Well, let's get this one on ice. Hang on, Tyson. That's it. Just roll him in here easy now. Come on, crank it, that's it. Keep that rod tip up.
Broke.
Keep going. No, he's all right. Keep going, you got him. It didn't break. Get the line over here. That's it, hold on to him. You just got it around the tip of the rod. Boy, that's a nice fish. Atta boy, look at there. Look at there. Boy, they look a lot like bullhead, don't they?
Boy, that's a big catfish. And he sure looks a lot different than that crappie Lindsay caught.
He's got skin instead of scales.
Right,
He's got spines and whiskers.
right.
Oh no, he swallowed the hook.
Boy, he sure did.
You got him hooked pretty deep, Tyson. I think we better cut this line and leave that hook in there. In a short period of time, nature will dissolve this hook, and the fish will be just fine.
Get it going, boy. Okay, see now the reason I did that, Lindsay, was because when you have a fish hooked that deep, that was clear down in his stomach because there was bait on there and he took that bait, you do way more damage to that fish trying to remove that hook.
Hey, what'd you throw that fish
Then you
back for? I would have taken that.
Well, we really didn't need it, I guess.
How you guys doing anyway?
We're doing all right. We caught enough for supper and we've released several.
What? You threw others back? Not us. We're out here to fill the freezer. Look what we've caught.
Some of them look a little small for keeping.
Come conservation officers that said they had to be 15 inches long or you had to put them back.
Ah, so what? I bought my license. I'm gonna keep all I can catch.
Yeah, and I didn't buy a license, so I don't know anything about sizes and limits.
Later, we got fish to catch.
Grandpa, why do you need a license to go fish?
Well, the money from the licenses goes to pay for fish management and the original stocking of this lake. If it wasn't for fishing licenses, there wouldn't be any fish in this lake.
Grandpa, I don't like those guys.
Well, me neither, hon, but unfortunately there are a few people like that in the world. They're not real fishermen, and they're not true sportsmen. They're just litter bugs and fish hogs, and they're all fishing for the wrong reasons.
I hope Officer Marta catches those guys.
Well, those guys are the reasons we have the officers, and I'll tell you, eventually they'll get caught, and they'll pay a big fine too, Tyson. What do you got there, Tyson?
This is a monster.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Boy, howdy. I think it is. Look at the size of that fish. What do you got? Keep cranking. Keep cranking. We better get the net. He's a good one. Get him up alongside the boat here. Boy, that's a big one. It's a carp, Tyson. That's what it is. Get him right over here. Point him over this way. Grandpa will net him. Point him over here. That's it. Get him over here. Get him back. He's scared. Get him back. Get him up here. Lift him up. You got him now, ain't you? No, he's going away from the net. Oh, boy, that's a big fish, Tyson. Oh, look at there. Look at the size of that fish. Well, with this carp, we have some great eating for supper. And we've had our limit of fun. Kids, what do you say we call it a day?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I might have gone fishing, got to thinking it over, thought the road to the river was a mighty long way, ain't no rhyme or no reason, it's just a season, and I'm taking it easy, it's my lazy day. I imagine so. I'll bet they'll pay a pretty good fine. Maybe they'll think twice before they violate the law again, huh? Well, we better get going, kids.
Those fish are gonna taste great, aren't they, Grandpa?
You bet they are, and keeping them on ice like that is gonna make them taste their very best.
Grandpa, can we go fishing tomorrow?
Tomorrow's our last day, and you bet we're gonna go fishing.
That sure was a great dinner, Grandpa. Grandpa, that carp was real good. And thanks for taking us fishing, Grandpa. It was a lot of fun.
It's been a great day, kids, and I'm glad you found out that fishing's fun. But remember, it's not always important to catch the biggest fish or the most fish. The fun is in knowing how to fish properly and taking care of the outdoors so that fishing can be fun for everyone.
Good night, Gus.
Good night, kids.
Boop, boop, did 'em down 1 and 2. And they swam all over the dam.
Oh, down in the meadow went a little bitty pool, lived 3 little fish, the mawfish too. Swim, said the mawfish, swim if you can. They swam and they swam all over the dam. Oh, boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. And they swam all over the dam. Well, stop, said the mawfish, you get lost. The 3 little fishes didn't want to be bossed. They swam and they swam and they swam and they swam and they swam right over the dam. Oh, boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. Boop, boop, did-em, dad-em, wad-em, chew. And they swam right over the dam. Just goes to show you, you ought to mind your mama.